Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for the WWE WrestleMania 38 preview and prediction show. I am back once again with the legendary manager himself, the star maker, the king, Kenny Bolin. How you doing today, sir?
I am barely awake, and I'm not about to show the world my 11 a.m. eyes. I'm a 7 p.m. eye guy, kind of guy. 11 a.m. eyes aren't too flattering.
I heard you're more of a 1 a.m. type of guy. You know, you get down in the dirty hours.
Get down. Well, I mean, that's not for public air. You can't put that on the
It's
airwaves. But
too
7
late.
p.m. You can air some of that stuff at 7 p.m. Just not much of the other. Shout out to Michael Ryder on Facebook in the house tonight. He's one of the big participants on my show.
Very nice, very nice. Yes,
and I'm expecting a flood of trollers today. So you get that bam hammer, you get that little button ready. We might set a record day. Eunice from the Philippines in here.
there you go.
It's 11 p.m. at night in the Philippines, and we got them watching the show. Shout out to Eunice. How you doing?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Sportskeeda Wrestling
Big time worldwide podcast here.
WWE WrestleMania 38 preview and predictions. We have 2 nights of the most stupendous 2-night event in WWE history. There is 14 matches and 1 major segment scheduled for each for the nights on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, you can get the show on the Peacock Network, the WWE Network, depending on where you are. And Kenny, You've been in that WWE umbrella working in OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. Give us your being in developmental. What was your kind of feelings around WrestleMania season?
God, that is hard because I never actually set foot at any of the WrestleManias. We were always invited, but it was always such a hassle and a pain in the butt. And they're normally in these monstrous events. They were not going to give the OVW talent any decent seats whatsoever. They're selling those. And then you got to factor in travel expenses and all that. And just, I don't recall really any of us ever bothering to actually set foot at the event. Maybe 1 or 2 of us, but most of us didn't, it's not like we were getting the royal treatment. Like, if you want a ticket, we'll get you one. See where the moon is, and you'll be sitting somewhere near that. And so I didn't attend any, but it was always fun to see your guys that you developed. And I personally had put 54 people into the WWE. And the longer I was there, the bigger thrill it was to see the John Cena's. God, as a matter of fact, I had one guy that made WrestleMania, and he wasn't there long, but he actually got to work a WrestleMania, and I'm blanking out on his name. He was like a second. It might come to me before the show ends. But he actually got to do a WrestleMania, and I'm blanking out on his damn name. But when there's 54 of them and you're 62 years old, you don't remember all the names that well.
That is fair. I've been told before by others that if you're in the business, you don't remember as much stuff. And I have an encyclopedia brain when it comes to.
I had a talk with Jerry Lawler the other day, and I wanted him to come on and talk to me about a match he had in 1976 with a disc jockey named Cody Calhoun that at 16 years of age I helped make happen. And he says, Kenny, I don't remember anything about that match. I said, well, I remember everything about it. He says, then you do the show. I don't remember anything about that match. I said, well, all right. And when Lawler wrote his first book, me and Cornette did most of the maybe half the content, because Jerry says, I don't remember all this stuff. You two do. My writer's going to contact you, and you tell them what you guys remember. And I would say we provided close to half of the book.
Very nice. Very nice. We want to hear from all of you guys in the live chat. Let us know your predictions, your thoughts on WrestleMania 38. Of course, your super chat donations is the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen. We try to highlight as many comments as possible, but your super chat donations is the best way to make sure your comment is read out by myself.
That's Kenny Bolin at MSN.com. All your super chat donations, they go right there. That way we know who's getting the money. Have we ever figured out where that money's going?
Huh?
You've been lying to me all along. You've been getting
No,
every nickel of
no,
it, haven't you?
no, no,
All right,
no.
I'm
I'm
just
pretty
checking.
sure it goes
I'm
to
just checking.
Raju, who has a question for you. Raju in the live chat says, "Does Kenny think the Will Smith thing was a work?" All the
God,
questions in the world about WrestleMania, and we get a Will Smith question.
I have covered this on my show extensively. I have covered it on Twitter extensively. I don't know how much you have or have not seen. If you're in the professional wrestling business and you've been around as long as me or a Dutch Mantel or a Jerry the King Lawler or whomever who's logged 30 to 50 or 60 years in this business, and if you thought that was a work, they always said that salespeople, I'm a career salesperson, and they always say that salespeople are the easiest people to sell. I was never one of those because I knew all the tricks and game, and I was always alerted to sales techniques. And the minute I hear a sales technique, my deflectors go up and go, something's going on here. This is what I do. So only I didn't use all the technical techniques. No, that was absolutely 100% positively not a work. And as Jimmy Kimmel pointed out last night, yeah, they had Will Smith decide to just ruin his career so the sake that Martin and Rock, not The Rock. Some people thought The Rock got slapped. It was not The Rock. It was Chris Rock. And Will Smith decided to ruin his career so that they could
ruin the biggest night of his career.
Excuse me?
Ruined the biggest night of his career because everybody and their mama knew he was going to win that Best Actor award.
A lot of people felt good about it. Yeah,
he's only the 5th African American man to win the Best Actor award. So on a night that celebrates him and the accomplishments of his movie, no, he just decided to do a work and slap a comedian. That's why I'm just like,
here's what we want you to do. So we think Chris Rock and what's his name, Martin Lawrence or
no, it was Chris Rock.
No, well, someone's touring with him. They have a big tour coming up where one guy sells out by himself anyway. Jimmy Kimmel announced it last night that he's getting ready to do a big tour with another comedian, Martin. I don't know.
Martin Lawrence, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Might be Martin Lawrence, but whoever it is, they said he sells out by himself anyway. Now you add Chris Rock to it. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to help sell tickets for an event that's already going to sell out no matter what. A matter of fact, they said the guy would sell out the Grand Canyon. And it wasn't Chris Rock. It's whoever's going with Chris Rock, and I'm blanking out on his name.
I believe it's Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. My bad.
My boy, the Stat King is in the chat with the facts.
There you go, Kevin Hart. I don't know where I'm getting all these names from, but
it's all right to compare Kevin Hart and Martin Lawrence. Their kind of shtick is both the same. They are short black men.
Pretty similar.
I know the shtick of Martin Lawrence and Kevin Hart because I've been using it for the whole of my life because I'm also a short black man.
Yeah, well, so I don't know how tall you are. You could have been 6'8". I wouldn't have known any different.
No,
guys. And when I see professional wrestlers that have been around for a while trying to tell everybody this is work, number one, they don't know how to work. Because Jerry Lawler posted, he says, "Hey, me and Andy Kaufman did this 35 years ago or however long it's been." I said, "No, you and Kaufman knew how to work. Kaufman took the bump. Chris Rock did not take a bump. He took half a step and went on with the show."
Yeah,
Andy Kaufman came back out and lost his mind and made a show out of it. I said, no, you two knew how to work. If this was a work, neither of them had a clue how to work. So no, absolutely not a work. And why would he try to ruin his career to help Kevin Hart and Chris Rock sell a couple tickets that they're already going to sell anyway? Just the stupidest thing. Be ashamed of yourself if you're a pro wrestler and you're trying to tell people it's a work because you obviously don't know what a work is.
Shout out to Mike Martin in the chat saying, "Sid, you're good on SmackDown review, but seems like you have simmered your voice and enthusiasm down." I mean, if you've been watching SmackDown over the last couple of weeks, you know exactly why. But it's also
watching the setup to SmackDown. Yeah,
it's also.
We're talking about Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, and Will Smith for a reason because we wish that was at WrestleMania.
When we got 2 nights of WrestleMania to talk about, but it's the fact that I'm also at 11 p.m. at night. I'm in a room with 2 sleeping 2-year-olds, and my daughter is in full form of terrible.
Do you live in the Philippines? It's not 11 p.m. at night.
Well, no, when we do the SmackDown review.
The SmackDown. Oh, excuse me. Okay, yeah, those are 11 at night. I gotta say, man, did you all wake me up at 11 at night with the sun shining? Did I move to Manila?
Well, there you go.
You'll be there
Let's
for me.
talk about WrestleMania though, and this
Well,
is
if
a
we
match
have to,
we're
if
gonna
we
start
have
off
to.
on night one. We're not gonna run through the matches in order of night. We're just gonna run through the matches, but let's start with a match on night one, a match that's been talked about a lot. Seth freaking Rollins
He made the
going
show.
one-on-one with an opponent of Vince McMahon's choosing. Seth Rollins has been searching for a path to WrestleMania ever since him and Kevin Owens lost the Raw Tag Team title match just about a month ago. He versed Kevin Owens for an opportunity to host the KO show or host his own talk show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He
Yeah, that
lost.
was
He
a
versed
disappointment.
AJ Styles for an opportunity to verse Edge, and he lost. And he said that he would not let Monday Night Raw start this week without a path to WrestleMania. He met with Vince McMahon, and he gave him this match, saying he will be in a main event match with an opponent of his choosing that he won't know until he is in the ring at WrestleMania. Who do
Wow.
you think the opponent will be, Kenny? And who do you want to win? It's been highly rumored by numerous outlets and platforms that this is the spot for Cody Rhodes. But yesterday, the news dropped that PW Insider reported that Shane McMahon is scheduled to be in Dallas for WrestleMania. Shane McMahon, who was also rumored earlier in
He was.
January before
He
he
was.
was let go by WWE, it was informed that he was supposed to have a program with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. So, who do you think the opponent is? Who do you think's going to win?
Do you feel it would be a horrible waste to have Cody Rhodes show up at WrestleMania where you don't gain any ticket sales? You don't get any. There's people. Number one, I love Cody. Cody's a good guy. I cried when he got called up to the WWE because I knew I was going to miss him so much. Hugged him, cried like a baby in front of everybody. But I don't think Cody is WrestleMania main event material. And I know that's going to hurt some people's feelings, and it might even hurt Cody's. um, and if he was, even if he is WrestleMania main event material, and for some marks he will be, there's a certain number of marks that would like to see that, but not enough, not enough to justify the ticket sales that you think you would get off that match. So why would you? So whatever you're going to get out of bringing Cody Rhodes in, why would you do it not to even get any ticket sales out of it or any pay-per-view views? You've got what you're going to get. You could have The Rock show up and wrestle him, and why would you do that? It'd be the same reason. So I would think the thing to do. Well, Vince picked his own son to take care of. I would lean towards Shane before I would lean towards Cody Rhodes. But then again, they've done dumber things than that. So. What's your thoughts?
I think it is going to be Cody Rhodes. I think
You think
this
it
is,
will be Cody?
yeah,
I think that's a horrible idea if that's what they do.
I think it's a good idea because that's the only way Seth Rollins is going to have a good match at WrestleMania because he ain't going to
Well,
have a good match with Shane McMahon because Shane McMahon hasn't had a good or memorable match in about 5 years. So
it's been a little bit.
yeah, and I don't want to see the Shane McMahon potato punches
Now, if
that
you're going for a
that
pop,
either look too his punches either look too real or too fake. So I
if
like
you're
it
going
somewhere
for a
in
pop
between.
for the marks, the Cody Rhodes thing is the way to go. Marks are going to eat it up. They ain't going to sell you any more tickets. Not going to get you any more views.
They're not
No
trying to
one is
sell any
buying
more
that.
tickets.
No
They
one's
put it
buying. Well,
they
they've been
put it
selling them 2 for 1 anyway.
yeah, and they put it on the same night as Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's gonna be the draw for that night.
That's your draw. That's your
It
draw.
doesn't matter
You
who
could
else
cancel
is.
everything else if you wanted to.
Yeah,
You could just save some payroll and just cancel everything else. That's your draw. Is a dadgum podcast that's going to be right in the middle of the ring.
pretty much.
I
Pretty
wish
much
I were
with,
hosting it. I wish I were hosting.
with the stunner at the end and some beer drinking. So who do you got if you're saying it's Shane, who wins, Shane or Seth Rollins?
If it's Shane and Seth Rollins, wow, good lord, who cares?
My I think my wife in the background says Shane's gonna win. So
Shane's gonna win. I think you have to figure out a way to have Jack Double Barrel Cannon win that because Shane is not coming back to the full-time roster. And if Cody comes, then Cody better win. That's all I can tell you. If they're going to put Cody in there, he better win.
any memorable stories of your time with Cody and OVW?
A nice time. I remember when he got called up. You're familiar with TGI Fridays, I'm sure. I know they got them
Of
in New
course.
York. My son
Yep.
and daughter-in-law ate up there last time they went to New York. And I plugged TGI Fridays on my show, and they sent me a bunch of free food coupons. So that was very nice of them. And maybe they'll do the same thing again today. But Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, shortly after they got called up to the WWE, they told everybody after television taping, because a lot of times when you get called up, you still came back and did OVW television on Wednesdays. John Cena was the king of that. And Rico Constantino, various others. So we told after the show, mandatory, everybody to TGI Fridays. Well, a lot of the OVW guys didn't have the money to eat at TGI Fridays. And good Lord, let me turn this bill down.
They don't know you're on air. Come on.
Well, these landlines and everything, they don't care. It's probably somebody wanting to be on it. It could be Cornette wanting to be on the show like he did with Russo 5 years ago, and
That is
we
true.
saw how that
That
worked
is
out.
true. He's like Russo's on this channel. Let me call Kenny right now.
Yeah, Cornette, I'll get with you later. Calm down. So they had us all go to TGI Fridays, and they said, order whatever you want, doesn't matter. And Punk and Cody took care of the entire bill. They paid for everything. And it didn't matter. Now, man, if I'd known that, I'd have ordered a shitload more. I weighed probably, well, I was pushing 400 pounds back then. I could have put away more than I got. I was on a budget too. But now Punk and Cody paid for everything. And that was very nice of them to do that. And Cody was just a very nice, very generous guy anyway. Class act. I cannot tell you one, because you've heard me talk negative about a few of the guys before. Cody Rhodes is not one of those. Always been a class act. And I hope he doesn't get upset. But, you know, I'm also a paid professional. Well, for today, a paid professional to be on here and to give my opinions. And it's gonna be like what I said about CM Punk over in AEW. It's going to be a temporary boost. The marks are going to eat it up for about 30 to 45 days, and then I think it's going to tail off. So we'll see.
I mean, you've been kind of wrong about that, because every
No, I have
pay-per-view
not been wrong.
every pay-per-view AEW has done since then has been higher and higher.
It has not been wrong. It has not been wrong. They've done. Yeah, it's gone up a little. It has to, but it has done nowhere near those projections
from last year.
Of we're going to be getting 3.0s, 3.3s, 3.6s, maybe.
Oh, I never said that. Well,
you might not have, but a lot of the marks out there did. And a lot of the marks that should know better did.
They don't realize that people are not watching wrestling.
When I was producing talent and sending it to the WWE, we were getting 7 and 8s. And if we got a 6, everybody got yelled at, even us, because our talent wasn't performing correctly. Now we're fighting over the same 900,000 fans. It's ridiculous what it has become now as to what it was when we were producing talent to go up there. May 20th of 1999, the only 8.0 in the history of wrestling, and the WWE got it. And it hasn't been done since. So we've gone from 8.0s to where we're now fighting for 900,000 viewers. And they're not even going head to head with each other the way WWE and WCW did back then. Let them go head to head and see what the ratings are.
TV is a different beast now.
It might be a different beast, but we've lost 8 million viewers somewhere along the line.
People are on streaming sites and streaming services
there's
way more than
those two, and there ain't 8 or 9 million people watching any live broadcast of anything.
Hey, we shall see. The research.
Well, we've already seen they're not doing it.
The research.
I love you, my friend. I love you, but there's not 9 million people watching wrestling anywhere, anytime, at any site. Nowhere. Maybe eventually through time they'll see a video a few million times. But not watching a live broadcast television show head to head with another television show. Nobody's getting 8 and 9 million viewers. Nobody.
Yeah. All I'm trying to say is that
15 million, and they didn't even know they were going to get a fight.
All I'm saying is that it's different now. It's just different now as far as everything goes.
I say that on this show? No shit. It's different. They've lost 8 million viewers.
We got to move on to the other matches. And seriously, I'm not gonna spend too much time on any of these next couple of matches.
Block the Doyle name. Get rid of that now.
We got Drew McIntyre on night 1. He's gonna be going up against Happy Corbin. This started all the way back in December when Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss tried to steal Drew McIntyre's sword, Angela, when he stuck it into Adam Pearce's desk. He pulled it out like he was Camelot. And ever since then, he's drawn the ire of Corbin and Madcap Moss. They took him out at day 1. He returned from a neck injury at the Royal Rumble. Ever since then, he's beaten Madcap Moss a few times, beaten both men in a handicap match this past week on Monday Night Raw, but Happy Corbin laid him out with the end of days. Who wins here, Corbin or McIntyre?
Well, first of all, block the Doyle thing there. That's one of the trollers. And oh my God, if that is just the dumbest thing going on television right now. And if Drew McIntyre loses to that nonsense, then he should quit the business. He should talk to whoever booked it. I'll definitely be going OVW boy. I'll be going with Drew McIntyre all the way.
Oh,
Raiju says I can swear.
there you go. I'm
Well,
also going with Drew McIntyre, and that we've said enough about this feud.
I think we
Next,
covered way more than enough.
Next, we got WrestleMania Saturday once again. It's going to be the Usos, the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions in history, defending
Yeah.
those titles against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
Oh God.
Rick
God.
Boogs defeated main event Jey Uso a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown
did.
to earn this opportunity. Nakamura defeated Jimmy Uso in singles
Absolutely.
competition. So are the Usos going to successfully defend their titles on night one before their leader of the bloodline, Roman Reigns, versus Brock Lesnar on night two, or do we have new tag team champions? Kenny?
Well, as my son and I were saying about Rick Boogs, I'm not on the wagon. He says there's something there. He says it's not main event material. It's there could be a job for him. We always look, is there a job for this guy? There's a job for him, but not the one he has right now, playing the guitar for Shinsuke Nakamura and getting electrified by microphones or whatever. That was him, right?
Yeah, that was him with
Yeah, I've touched
Zayn.
this microphone a lot of times. I don't think I can hook this thing up anyway to shock me unless I run an electrical cord to the microphone. I think that's the only way I can do it. I don't see them putting the belts on those two. I love Shinsuke with a passion. I hate what they're doing with him right now. I say the Usos continue their streak, even though if they want to elevate Shinsuke and this clown a little bit, that would be the way to do it. But I wouldn't do it. I'd just go ahead and keep it on the Usos and find a legit tag team to do something about it.
I feel that this match is here on night one to build some intrigue for the main event matchup on night two with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. You got to see the bloodline kind of had their back against the wall. So I think the Usos are going to lose the SmackDown Tag Team Championships
I
to
see that
Shinsuke
thought.
Nakamura.
I see that thought process.
And
considered
Rick
that.
Boogs. Also, Rick Boogs, he needs his introduction. For months, he's been saying the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah,
Over the last couple of weeks, he's been saying the future SmackDown Tag Team Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. And now after WrestleMania, he will say my SmackDown Tag Team Champion
Elvis Presley
Shinsuke
in here. Elvis Presley agrees with me, by the way. Yeah, that would. I mean, if you're going to keep Boogs around, I mean, of all the talent they've cut, and you still got him hanging around. I mean, he's got a good look.
Looks like Freddie Mercury.
He looks like a jacked up Freddie Mercury.
yes, for sure.
I don't think Mr. Mercury ever checked in at whatever this guy's checking in at. I personally wouldn't do it, but I could see where it could happen. But I wouldn't, because used to be in the old days, whoever won those split tag team matches, they were telling you who was going to win at Raw or SmackDown or whatever the pay-per-view was coming up. Whoever won those split matches, the team was going to win. Whoever won those singles, they were not about to win the tag team match as well. So old school booking, it should never happen in a million years. But I can't really accuse them of doing old school booking.
Never that. But we have another tag team matchup to get to here.
Another one?
Yes, another one. It's going to be the New Day's Xavier, King Woods, and Kofi Kingston versus Ridge Holland and Sheamus with Butch in their corner. Yes, Butch. It was a couple of weeks back that... It was a couple of weeks back that Big E has suffered an unfortunate serious neck injury when Ridge Holland accidentally dropped him on his head. Last week on SmackDown, the New Day got a measure of revenge as King Woods returned from injury to defeat Ridge Holland. And now we have the anticipated tag team matchup here. Who do you think walks out with the victory on this one, Kenny?
Well, first of all, we got Elvis Presley and Muhammad Ali in here, so that's a real honor to have both of them on the same show. My son says that this Butch guy had something in his weight class, and I don't know what name did he go by before they made him Butch.
Pete Dunne.
Well, okay. My brother's nickname is Butch, and he's one of the most racist piece of shit human beings that ever lived. So when I hear anybody named Butch, I immediately think piece of shit racist. Okay. I look at this guy, and you would think, well, maybe. You got these. I don't know. Another stupid gimmick. I absolutely despise it. I don't even know what Pete Dunne was doing before, but it had to be better than this. Once again, the New Day should be absolutely ashamed of himself if they get booked to lose this damn thing. They should quit the business.
I think they are going to lose this match, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
I think that Butch is going to be the difference maker here.
Oh,
And
I hope so.
It's going to be
all right.
It's going to be Sheamus and Ridge Holland who get the victory in this one.
I don't know what he was doing, but it had to be better than what they got him doing now. Oh my God. Just an embarrassment.
We
Do I sound bitter?
We got another tag team matchup from night one of WrestleMania.
For Vince to hate tag team wrestling, he's stacking the lineup. I'll give him that.
He is. We got Rey and Dominik Mysterio versus the team of The Miz and social media icon Logan Paul. This one was set up before Elimination Chamber. It was the Mysterios during the ire of The Miz. Rey Mysterio defeated The Miz at Elimination Chamber thanks to help from Dominik Mysterio. So The Miz looked through his A-list Rolodex of all the Hollywood stars, and he found Logan Paul in the B or C list or D list. I don't know what list.
He was in the A list category, huh? Okay.
He was looking at his A list book, but he found himself in Q or P.
Yeah, he went way down in that Rolodex list to come up with that name. Because number one, I didn't know who he was until my son explained. Oh, he's the guy that got all the heat. He said or did something stupid on YouTube, right? Something about suicides.
Yes,
and of course, I've just dealt with that in my own family recently, so it's a little bit of a sensitive subject. But Lawler spoke highly of him, and a couple of other people that I talked to said that he kind of gets what they're doing. I haven't seen that from what I've been looking at, but if Lawler says he gets it, but then again, he's a Cleveland boy. How much crap can Lawler talk on this guy?
Yeah.
I don't get it. He had all that heat. I don't know why you would bring anybody with that negative persona to them, to your business. But in this day and era of YouTube views, as you were saying earlier, and streaming media, I guess they think he brings something to the table. I, once again, have absolutely no use for the guy. If I saw him in the back, I'd ask him to leave. As Jerry Jarrett once said, people would knock on the door and say, "Oh, Mr. Jarrett, I'd like to work for you. I'm in the business." They said, "Well, you might be in the business, but you're not in my business." So that would be my conversation. You might be in a business. You're not in my business. Please leave, is what I would tell him if I saw him hanging around in the back.
And
do I sound irritable today? Don't ever wake me up at 11 o'clock in the morning and do these shows anymore. It's just too early. I just don't function well.
I respect it. But yes, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from there. And I think that this is set up for Rey and Dominik Mysterio to have the feel-good moment. They've been building to Logan Paul taking the 619. He hasn't taken it yet.
He hasn't took it yet. Okay.
So I think that's going to be the big spot in this match.
Maybe he don't know how. It's a very difficult move to take.
You get kicked in the face. I think Rey and Dominik...
I didn't know. That's all there is to it. Well, maybe he can do it.
I think Rey and Dominik Mysterio get the victory
in
this
one. Logan Paul is hot garbage.
I think that Logan Paul is going to impress people. I think he's been working very hard at this, and I think he has more of a future.
Well, whatever he does, he would have to impress me because if he did anything that was right. Chris said he actually looks like he's kind of figured out what to do in the ring and stuff. Chris is seeing some stuff I'm not seeing. What do I know? But
I mean, he had a big box office draw with him and Floyd Money Mayweather having an exhibition boxing fight.
Yeah,
but I think that
I know nothing about that. How'd that go?
I mean, it wasn't a winner or loser. It was an exhibition. But I think that and Mayweather looked way better.
You mean it was a work?
I think he has more of a future in WWE than he does
you might be on something. Maybe Chris Rock and Kevin Hart and because the two of them together might give Will Smith all they want. Maybe we can do an exhibition.
There you go. That's next.
Never know.
But we got another special.
In his corner, Jada with no hair.
And who did you pick? Did you even pick? I just heard you roasting Logan Paul. Did you even pick anybody in this match?
It ain't going to be anybody that Logan Paul's standing by. So no, I'm going to go with the other team.
I'm going to go with the Mysterio,
the father-son team. I'll go with them. I'll pretend it's me and Chris is what I'll do. I'll pretend it's us.
Next, we got a
Oh,
singles match
Jesus.
with
Yeah, it
another
just keeps
outside
going.
star, another outside guest star on WrestleMania Sunday is going to be SmackDown commentator and former NFL punter Pat McAfee, the host of the Pat McAfee Show, going one-on-one with Austin Theory. Vince McMahon had a great interview on the Pat McAfee Show where he invited Pat McAfee to have his first match on the main roster at WrestleMania, and he chose his protege, Austin Theory, to be his opponent. Austin Theory has been antagonizing Pat McAfee ever since then, and Pat McAfee has been trying to chase him down, but he hasn't been able to get his hands on him, but he has that chance at WrestleMania Sunday. Who do you think takes the victory here, Kenny?
Oh, gee. Well, first of all, it's 50 kilos, not 30, so get rid of the other troller there. It's 50 kilos. I understand you stupid assholes don't know how to do math, but there you go. God, I got no use for McAfee, and it extends long beyond him standing up and dancing on a desk and taking football. I think you actually like the guy, right?
I love Pat McAfee.
Absolutely,
he's
no
the best.
freaking use.
He's the best commentator in
No,
all
he's
of
not.
WWE.
No, he's not. He
In
takes
all of
away too much
WWE.
attention from the boys. He's always trying to focus the attention on himself. It's always me, 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 me. And if we'd have tried that crap at OVW with me and Dean Hill, if I'd ever, even when the days that I could, stand up and dance on a desk during one of the stars being in the ring, they would have lost their freaking minds. I know it's a new product, something new. It's too much attention on the announcer. He's the freaking announcer.
Well, he ain't an announcer here.
He put a ring in his barn and he wanted to learn the business. Well, it didn't work out so well.
You felt the same way about Jerry in 1996?
Who?
Jerry
who?
Lawler. Jerry Lawler.
96?
Yes, he was. He
Lawler
definitely
never ever
tried.
got
Yes,
up on
he
a
did.
desk and danced.
No,
he never
him
took a
on
foot
commentary.
Bath.
Tries to put
And
on
he
him.
has 50 years experience to say and do what he wants. Pat McAfee barely could kick an extra point. He could barely kick an extra point. He played for the dadgum Indianapolis Colts. He was a lousy football player. If any action happened on the field, he ran off to make sure he wasn't tackling anybody.
Yes,
he's a candy ass. No, he was a chicken shit kicker.
He has 34 tackles. That's more than the most punters.
Well, he should have had 1,034 if he hadn't ran off the field every time. He's a punk.
He's a Pro Bowler. He's a Super Bowl champion. Like, he is one of the greatest punters of all time.
His team is. He was blessed to be on the field. He was blessed because anybody can kick a ball through an upright. Hell, I could do that at 62 years of age. I could nail one from 69 yards if I had to today. It's the easiest job in the world.
Put it on your YouTube channel. I don't believe
you. His arms? Have you seen his arms? His arms look like he went and gave blood and forgot to say when. He looks pitiful.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
He
was jacked. What are you?
Jacked? You call that jacked? Oh my God. You call Pat McAfee jacked? You don't know what jacked. Have you ever looked at Rick Boogs? Rick Boogs is jacked. And I ain't got no use for him either. Pat McAfee looks like a clown. By the way, did I mention he's a racist Republican? Did I mention that?
Oh, no, I didn't know he was a racist Republican.
I did now. You like a racist Republican. You got to be ashamed of yourself. The opinions expressed on Sportskeeda are solely those of Kenny Bolin, at least for today.
When did he say anything racist? When did he say anything racist? When did he say anything racist?
He likes Joe Rogan. You are who you stand by. You are who you stand by.
I guess you got a point.
Thank you. See, I won you over. It took a while.
You got a point there, but I'm still going with Pat McAfee to win this damn match.
Well, he's probably going to win, as bad as I hate to admit it, but then the other guy's Vince's guy, and now he's going to have him lose to a lousy football kicker that anybody can do.
It creates more of the story. Vince is going to be upset with him for losing to a commentator, and also,
I have a
theory here. I have a theory.
Oh, you have an Austin theory? Is that what you got? You got an Austin theory?
On Austin theory, but it is a theory here. I don't remember the last time or ever a babyface celebrity lost at WrestleMania.
It probably don't happen much. I don't recall.
Mr. T, Lawrence Taylor,
Mr. T lost the fight in the back.
Mayweather was the heel. Mayweather was supposed to be a baby.
Mr. T lost to David Schultz in the back on a count out because he couldn't fight no more.
we're not going to talk about what happened outside the ring, but another babyface
Well,
celebrity
all
is in
right.
our next match. We got Jackass's own Johnny Knoxville going
Oh, Jesus.
one-on-one with Sami Zayn in an
I
anything goes
you
match.
said we have two jackasses, and I wasn't going to disagree with you.
It's going to be an anything goes match. This started all the way back in January before the Royal Rumble. Johnny
Been a
Knoxville
long angle. Been a long angle.
was in the Royal Rumble matchup, and he's been
Yeah.
feuding with Sami Zayn ever since then. He cost Sami Zayn the Intercontinental Championship. And he also doxed Sami Zayn by putting his phone number on a helicopter in Los Angeles. Sami Zayn has beaten down Johnny Knoxville. He eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. This honestly has been the best angle going into WrestleMania. I don't know how much this says about the entire WrestleMania card, but it's been one of the best angles because of what they've done on their own on social media and building up this rivalry. Sami Zayn crashing the Jackass premiere and everything like that. So who do you think wins, Zayn or
Okay.
Knoxville?
First of all, get rid of Melvin Newton. Get rid of Melvin. He's gone. Let's see here. Cornette's in here, by the way. I saw somebody refer to Pat McAfee as having buggy whip arms. Well, Cornette's the only one that says that. So welcome, Cornette, to your chat room. Isn't that great? You got him in here watching the show under an assumed name. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. How you doing, Jimmy? Buggy whip arms. Name me anyone else that ever said that.
I don't know.
There's nobody. There's nobody. Oh, God. I love Sami Zayn if they would make him a manager. I think he would be one of the greatest managers, and I was one of the greatest managers in the history of wrestling. I always thought that Mr. Kennedy would have been a great bumping Bobby Heenan style manager. I didn't buy Mr. Anderson as the next Stone Cold Steve Austin because he was trying to be Steve Austin when we already had one. I don't know where Sami Zayn fits in the wrestling world, and he's got some stuff that looks good, but he can play the coward almost as good as Brock's manager, Paul Heyman. Yeah. See why I can't be president? I can't even remember people's names that I've had dinner with. I don't even remember. I wish Sami were a bump taking manager that was occasionally forced into the ring. That's what I wish Sami Zayn was. Who's he wrestling?
Johnny Knoxville of
Johnny Knoxville. Anything goes match. Well, that should fit right down Johnny Knoxville's path there. But I would say Johnny Knoxville's going to win it.
I would agree with you.
I don't see any reason in having Sami win it. I don't know what
you're going along with my theory.
I'm going along with your theory.
Babyface celebrities don't lose at WrestleMania. Bad Bunny last year. The list goes on and on, man.
Well, Jim Keys brings up a good point, and I think there's situations to where it hurts if you have celebrities beating your big stars, but if they're beating clowns like Pat McAfee, who cares? But no, if they beat the clowns or the managers but don't have them beat your top stars unless you have another top star assist the celebrity in beating the other top star. Don't let them beat them clean.
They kind of did that at WrestleMania 24 when they had Floyd Money Mayweather beat Big Show.
So, they did. They
didn't kill the business.
That might be the only way that match was going to happen too.
But
if there's anybody that had the clout to say it's going to go this way, it would have been Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I'll come to your show. I'll help you make millions of dollars, but this is how it's going to go. He would have the clout to do that.
But we got another giant here, not the Big Show, but Omos will make his singles WrestleMania debut after debuting his official debut last year at WrestleMania, where he single-handedly destroyed the New Day to win the Raw Tag Team titles with AJ Styles. He goes up against another former WWE champion here in Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley returned to WWE after his shoulder injury back at the Royal Rumble. He was taken out of the Elimination Chamber, but he came back on Raw and he became the first man to take Omos off his feet. The first bump Omos has taken in 18 months in the WWE. Who do you think wins here, Lashley or Omos?
Well, it depends how much of the wagon you're hooking to Omos is my opinion on this. I see an awfully big man, awfully impressive man who at this point of the game still needs to be a bodyguard. But then again, if you orchestrate his matches right, you can get some use out of him. I don't know that he's ready to be going in there putting on even a 3-star match at this point, let alone a 5. I don't know if he's capable of putting on a 2-star match. Poor Bobby. He's in a tough way because they probably want to elevate this guy some. Beating Bobby Lashley would give him a little credibility. Beat a former. He's not current world champion anywhere now, correct?
No,
Bobby.
Okay. No, he's been out of action since before.
Yeah, he's been out of action since he got hurt. Right? Yeah. Thought we hadn't seen him in a while. I missed this week's Raw. That was so. I actually watched all of Raw two times in a row. I watched all of SmackDown twice in a row, and I watched all of AEW 2 or 3 times in a row with my son, so we could comfort each other. Whew. Didn't make it this Monday. I tried. I thought about it. I couldn't pull the trigger. Because I always say, I ain't watching this crap unless somebody pays me to do so, and nobody was paying me to do so. So, please, God, let Bobby come out of this thing victorious, because this guy's got a ways to go. And the only thing worse than him is the other big guy that they just been embarrassing on TV on a daily. What's the other big guy's name that he punked out a week or 2 ago? The other great big guy.
Commander Aziz.
Yeah. Oh, boy. They have not given him much lately, have they?
No, they have not.
And all the people that they've let go, the commander's still hanging around. What the hell's going on there? Has he got options? Is it like is it like Major League Baseball? Does he have options we don't know about?
I mean, him or Apollo Crews may be on that list after WrestleMania, unfortunately.
Now, what's your opinions of Apollo Crews? I like Crews myself.
But they Omos squashed both of them in 3
Yeah,
days.
he did.
So
yeah, he did.
I don't.
He pinned both of them, didn't he? That looks like the exit to the road out. I got some use for Apollo Crews. I actually have no use for only as bodyguards. I mean, they're big, intimidating looking men, but they got no. Keep them out of the goddamn ring.
So you're going with Bobby Lashley here? Or?
I hope so.
Just to be different here, I am going to go with Omos, because they already wasted Omos taking his first bump and getting taken off his feet. They should have done that at WrestleMania.
This would have been the time to do it. See, you act like you know a little something about the business sometimes.
Hey, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been called a wrestling historian by some.
You know what? If you just pull that true heel heat curtain a little to the left and hide that lamp, man,
I'm good.
You would be totally on. You've already improved it. I
don't want to point out everything I see in your background.
You don't want to admit it, but you're listening. Well, this is just all glorious stuff here. I mean, you got
that dirty curtain you got back there. But we got to talk about the women.
I have not cream cleaned those curtains since I hung them. I'll give you that.
Women's tag team titles is on the line in a 4-way on WrestleMania Sunday. It's going to be Live for Brutality, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus the women's tag team champions Queen Zelina and Carmella versus the Boss and Glow connection of Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. This is kind of WWE's version of throw everybody in one match. Queen Zelina and Carmella won the title.
I love the Queen. She gets it. I like what the Queen's doing. I wrote her when she exited WWE for the first time. She didn't know me from Adam, and she appreciated my support. We follow each other on Twitter. I really think the world of her. She gets it, and especially for a little bitty thing. She's not very big, but she gets it. It's she's very good at what they're having her do. I'm glad they made her the first queen. Can you throw that picture up again? Throw the picture up again. What type of a match are we doing here? Why do we have all these people?
It's a 4-way. It's a 4-way tag team match.
All right.
4-way tag team matchup. Who walks out with the women's tag team titles, Kenny?
Oh, God. Man. Well, it ain't going to be Natalya. So whoever won't be her. I love Sasha and Naomi together. And I love the Queen. But, oh, God. Who you got? And then I'll pick from there.
I'm going with the Boss and Glow connection. I think that it's finally time for Sasha Banks to get a win at WrestleMania. She is 0-6 at WrestleMania. She made history last year, being the one of the 2 women to first ever.
Number one, nobody calls me big boy. I don't work for Frisch's, so
I'm not reading the live chat right now, but I am saying that Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to make history, become the first African-American team to win the women's.
And this is my show, by the way. I don't know what the hell you people are watching or thinking. This is obviously my show, so shut the F up. I'll clean it up for Raiju. He don't like the F word much. Shut the F up.
Who you got, Kenny?
I'm going to agree with you. I think, even though I love the Queen and I'd love for the Queen to continue on, I think this is Sasha and Naomi's time. Plus, Sasha and Naomi won me over because I did not realize, I've been to a lot of live events I've been on. I didn't realize that during the commercial breaks, they were having the wrestlers dance. And Sasha, one of her fans, posted
that was a shoot. That was them just having fun. That was them
just having some fun. I loved it. I thought it was great with her and Naomi dancing to my girlfriend. You may not know this, Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa and I've been engaged for about 2 years now. And she doesn't know about it, but we're going to smarten her up pretty soon. Dua Lipa will soon find out she's engaged to me. And she was just in Nashville the other day. She tried to send me a limo up here to bring me down, but it's just a long way. And I didn't want to fly. So I actually stood Dua Lipa up. So I'll make the next show Dua.
Heard you.
And but yeah, they were dancing to Dua Lipa. That was fun. I really enjoyed watching that. I hope somebody got that whole thing. That was great to entertain the crowd like that, and especially because they're pretty much the baby faces. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think there should be more of that to where the baby faces entertain. Because 4 to 6 minute commercial breaks a long time to just keep playing entrance music and walking around, standing up on the rope. So that was good. I like that. So I agree with you. I think it's their time. I think they need to get the belts, and sorry, Queen, but you can get them back later.
Absolutely. Next, we got more tag team titles on the line. This time, the Raw Tag Team Championships is on the line on WrestleMania Sunday. It will be Riddle and Randy Orton, RK Bro, versus the Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, versus Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. It was the RK Bro who won back the Raw Tag Team titles just over a month ago in a three-way matchup similar to this against Alpha Academy and the team of Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. The Street Profits defeated RK Bro the week before that to earn this opportunity here, and Alpha Academy is cashing in their rematch. Who walks out with the tag team gold, Kenny?
Well, first of all, get rid of Boris. Wow, you talk about a match I don't care about. We let a lot of people go, and we still have Chad Gable. Is that his name, Chad Gable?
Yes.
We still have Chad Gable there, and we still have Otis. Are you familiar with a guy that works with the Russo Network named Ben Hameen? Are you familiar with him?
No.
He does a bit. He puts out some stuff that I hear that Adult Swim is interested in. It's a rumor I've been hearing. And he puts out some funny videos to where he plays Vince McMahon, and Vince was going to make Dewdrop a McDonald's character, Grimace, and he was going to make Otis the win. He wanted a battle of the fast foods, and Otis was going to play Wendy. Every time I see picture Otis dressed as Wendy. Picture that. And Ben Hameen has a video of this with Otis. So every time I see a Wendy's, I said, you know what? I would pull through there and get me a triple if Otis was the Wendy's logo. He's almost as attractive as the real Wendy's logo. All the people we've let go, and those two still have a job. Holy shit. And I got no use for the pothead boy. He just doesn't do it for me. Actually, my son does not get Riddle. Is that his name?
You don't like the wacky tobacco?
No.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I'm one of the rare people on this planet Earth that has never had one of those. I've never taken a drug other than what my doctors prescribed to me. So I know I'm the weirdo in this bunch. I do my shows, and sometimes 3 of the 4 blocks are high as a kite, and then you got me, unless Bob Hazelwood's on with me. Wow. Oh, God.
For a match that you don't care about, you're talking about it very long.
Well, I am. I want Otis to be the Wendy's logo, and I want Dewdrop to be whatever the hell they were going to make her. Grimace. Yeah, the big purple thing. Grimace. That would work. I want to see the fast food wars. I'm all in on that. And Vince McMahon was going to be the Big Mac. I think it works. Ben Hameen owes me some money after today. Go to his Patreon account. You can see all that stuff. God. Whatever team Randy's on, I'll stick with the OVW boy.
RK Bro for the victory for Kenny. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Street Profits. They've been showing an edge. They've been acting more heelish on the road to WrestleMania. So I think that we're going to see some
be called the Street. They should be called the Street Not-for-Profits. That's what they should be called.
No, Street Profits is a heel team too. You could be on the street getting profits as a heel too. I've seen it. I've seen it, ladies and gentlemen. So I think the
They're
Street
not
Profits
making any
walk
money.
out with the Raw Tag Team
They're
titles.
not making any money. No one's buying a
Next,
ticket to see
we
them. All
got
right, here
a
we go. Couple old
WrestleMania,
timers.
a bona fide WrestleMania matchup here on WrestleMania Sunday. First time ever, it will be WWE Hall of Famer Edge, the rated R superstar, going one-on-one with AJ Styles. Edge returned in February and challenged the rest of the locker room. It basically called everybody out and said that he wanted someone to step up to face him at WrestleMania. It was none other than AJ Styles who did. He received 2 concertos because Edge wanted to bring out the pit bull AJ Styles, the AJ Styles that was WWE champion, the AJ Styles that's one of the best performers of this generation, and not the sidekick of Omos. And AJ has been showing more aggression over the last couple of weeks, but it's really Edge who's changed his character. A new theme song. He's called the
Yeah.
Omnipotent One. He's
Always
going to
good
be
to
the
get a new
judge,
theme song.
jury, and executioner of
Mhm.
AJ Styles at WrestleMania. So who wins, AJ or Edge?
Hate the new theme song. Hate the new Edge. I love old Edge. I'm not into the new Edge at all. I just don't even buy that character at all. AJ, cut back on the cream rinse conditioner. I think we could do something with that hair if you'd let me work with you, but let's cut back on the cream rinse. God, my son loves AJ with a passion, by the way. AJ is an excellent wrestler. Edge is an excellent wrestler and entertainer. Edge is, he's clicked 50 by now, right? Is he sneaking up on 50, give or take?
Yeah, he's getting
I
there. I
think
mean, he
AJ,
returned when he was 47, so he has to be like 49 at this point.
yeah, he's getting up there. And AJ's in his early 40s. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we can classify them as kind of old timers in the wrestling business. God, I think personally,
Edge is 48 years old and AJ Styles is 44.
44, that's what I thought. I actually thought Edge was a little older than that. I was surprised when I heard 48 because it seems like he's been around forever. Oh, God. Who you got?
I'm going with Edge. I think it really damages this whole new character that he has
Yeah,
if he
well, I would
loses here
agree.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think the ending is going to be AJ Styles going for the phenomenal forearm, and he's going
yeah,
to get caught in midair with the spear.
yeah. I would agree with you that they've wasted a lot of time, effort, and energy if they don't have him win. But just to be different and for the sake of my son, I'll pick AJ. But you're probably right.
That is fair. That is fair indeed. And we should also know that the WWE has put out a trademark for WWE or the grand jury, and I think that's going to be a group by
Oh,
Edge based on
yeah,
this new character that he's been
yeah.
showing. That
Sounds right.
I gotta shout out Rick Ucchino because he was the one that first thought of that. So shout
Did
outs
he
to
really? Well,
yeah.
bless his heart. Who'd you say? Rick Ucchino?
Rick Ucchino. Next, we got another
Not sure I know
WrestleMania
the guy.
worthy matchup here. It's going to be the 2 women that have main evented and won at WrestleMania.
They
Becky
have.
Lynch, who is the Raw Women's Champion, who will defend against the EST of WWE by Bianca Belair. Bianca earned this opportunity by winning the Elimination Chamber, but this goes all the way back to SummerSlam when Becky Lynch returned and beat Bianca Belair in 26 seconds. And it's been all about the journey of Bianca Belair working her way back up. She's been screwed over a few times by
She
Becky
has.
Lynch. She
They
was the
have.
sole survivor at Survivor Series. Then she had a strong showing at the Royal Rumble. Then she was
Mhm.
screwed out of the number 1 contendership by Becky Lynch as well. But then eventually she won the chamber, and now she has her opportunity here this past week on Raw. Becky tried to commit Black Twitter suicide by trying to cut off Bianca Belair's ponytail, and you don't
Oh,
touch a black
oh,
woman's hair,
oh,
let alone cut it. But luckily, Bianca Belair got the advantage, and she cut Becky Lynch's hair. So who do you think wins, with Becky more pissed off than ever before and Bianca looking to redeem herself?
man. Black Twitter would get real pissed about that. I'm going to agree with that. I'm a part of Black Twitter. Wow. I'm going to go. Somebody in here posted Bianca must win. I agree. Becky does not need this win any whatsoever. Doesn't change anything for her at all. And I think Bianca, being a screw job after screw job after screw job, has to win this. And unless she doesn't want that ponytail no more, WrestleMania would be a good place to lose it, and then have Bianca win. But you don't have all that just to lose it. I mean, I don't think she's ready to go with the butch look as of yet. So I will pick Bianca. I think Bianca needs it much more than Becky, because Becky, it does not matter. Just figure out a way for a good finish, and and Becky's going to be just fine.
None of this makes any lick of sense unless Bianca Belair wins here. This whole
I agree.
journey, it will not make any type of sense if Becky Lynch retains the championship.
Oh,
It's
you know
Bianca
what?
Belair's
I
time.
don't like to bet on fake wrestling much, and I know that Vegas finds a way to do so. But if I was ever going to put some money on a fake wrestling match, this would be the one. This would be the
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. And next we got the other women's championship is on the line. The SmackDown Women's Championship will be defended on WrestleMania Saturday, as Charlotte Flair will defend against the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Ronda Rousey, the UFC Hall of Famer. She returned at the Royal Rumble and actually eliminated Charlotte Flair from the Royal Rumble match to win. And now she has earned the opportunity to verse Charlotte. The build up to this has been all about who can make who tap out. You got the figure 8 of Charlotte Flair versus the armbar of Ronda Rousey, who has even equipped her former mentor Kurt Angle's ankle lock in the build up to this
Oh
matchup.
yeah.
But Charlotte Flair has dominated much of this feud. Who do you think wins here?
Well, they've already told you who's going to win. They've let Charlotte get the best of her seemingly week after week after week. They've already told you who's going to win. Plus Ronda, they're probably paying her way more money than she's worth. So you got to earn those dollars somewhere along the line. I absolutely despise and hate Ronda's facial expression. She never knows the correct facial expression for the right time and place. They're always put on. They're always fake as shit. They never seem natural. They seem very, very put on. A couple of acting classes may not hurt Ronda Rousey. Charlotte, on the other hand, me and my son aren't particularly very high on Charlotte either, but she's got the pedigree. She knows what to do. She knows the facial expressions. She knows how to work. And the other one doesn't seem to know a whole lot other than still her MMA shit. I think Ronda has to win. I mean, you cannot have Charlotte Flair beating Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, or Ronda Rousey has no purpose to even be on the roster anymore. And especially being as they punked her out about 3 or 4 weeks in a row. That's another fake ass match that I'd put some money on, that Ronda Rousey and Bianca Belair are both going to win their matches. Otherwise, somebody don't know what the hell they're doing. Your opinion.
Both
Your
women.
opinion, sir.
Both women's title matches seem very predictable, but I agree with you. I'm always a big Ronda Rousey fan as far as the WWE, because they seem to care more about the women's division when she's around, regardless of how you feel about her.
I won't argue that.
No one can really argue that. So I'm going with Ronda to win here. Next, we have what many people is believing is going to be the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania. It is the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens, like I said before, he lost along with Seth Rollins for the Raw Tag Team Championships and lost his path to WrestleMania. But he had an epiphany. He had spent weeks trashing Texas. So he said he was going to have a Kevin Owens show and invite the biggest Texas legend he could think of. And he thought of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This buildup has actually been pretty great with Kevin Owens on the mic, really showing off his range. His impersonation of Stone Cold Steve Austin was hilarious.
Yeah,
He's
it
cut
was.
promos, mimicking Stone Cold's great promos of the past. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we get a match? And how long do you think this entire thing is going to take here? Because it's not a match that we can predict, because it's not technically a match.
I originally, and I can't remember if you and I discussed this, probably not, because Sportskeeda doesn't have me do a lot of these shows. I don't think you and I got to discuss it. I think I discussed it on my own show, to where I make huge profits, huge money. We scam a lot of people. We do fake Filipino fundraisers. It's an amazing thing we got going on over there. So I think I talked about it over there. I thought it was going to be a match. I thought when Kevin Owens said that he was going to beat up Stone Cold Steve Austin and just lay him out and walk a mud hole in him and all, I thought we were getting a match. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I see we're getting a podcast. We're getting a live podcast right in the middle of the ring. I said, well, wait a minute. Why would you show up at a podcast where the host of the podcast is threatening to beat your ass? Why would you do such a thing? Now, on the other hand, I love how stupid and how marky wrestling fans are. This was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. Did you see what city were they? Was it Chicago? Was it Chicago?
It was Chicago.
Did you see how stupid those marks were? Did you see them when the music hit, that the first time they really thought Stone Cold Steve Austin was coming out? Do you know why he was not coming out? What giveaway was there that Steve Austin was not coming out when they hit the music?
I mean,
But-
I didn't think so. I don't think Stone Cold is gonna come out until WrestleMania because
well,
he's
of
the whole
course,
Raw.
but there was a
So,
dead giveaway why
well,
Steve Austin was not coming out. Do you
go
know what
ahead.
it was?
Just go
The
ahead.
dead giveaway was Steve never milks his entrance. Never milks his entrance. His music hits, his ass comes out. When it drug on and Steve hadn't walked out yet, they already told you Steve Austin ain't coming out. And then they go and he cuts the promo and he's got the bad skull cap and everything. And I am not the biggest Kevin Owens fan, but I did love this bit. And then when Kevin is cutting the promo and then the music hits again and he turns around like, oh shit, Steve Austin's coming. And they fell for it again. The cameras on him and there's just people. Oh my God, every freaking one fell for it twice. I said, Chris, I would hit it a third time. See how many times these dumbass marks are going to fall for this, that they actually think Steve Austin's coming through the curtain. Keep doing it until they finally, you know what, and then have him come out. Maybe about the seventh time Steve Austin comes out. But no, those Chicago, you think they know better. You think the Chicago, I could get Birmingham, I could get Biloxi, I could get even Austin, Texas, for crying out loud. But Chicago fans fell for that shit twice? You're marks. Just absolute marks. Terrible. Well, I guess that's why they paid big money to be there. That's what marks do. All right.
I think this
Can
is
you
gonna
tell
be
I'm
like
a little irked today? Can you tell I'm just slightly irked?
just a little bit. I think
All
this
right,
is gonna be 12 minutes. I think it's gonna be 6 minutes of talking and
exactly my
entrances,
prediction as
and
well. 12
it's
minutes.
gonna be a 6 minute kind of fight afterwards
Whatever's going to happen,
that
yeah.
ends with the stunner and some beer drinking. Everybody's gonna go wild. Everybody's gonna be happy. It will be a
12
nice way
minutes
to
was my
end the show.
exact time. So I'm going to go 13 just to be different. I had it from entrance or from when they sit down and start doing
That's what I
shit.
said. I said 6 minutes of entrance and talking, and then 6 minutes of a fight.
Okay, all right. So I'll go 13 just to be slightly different. I'll take the over of the 12 minutes.
And what will be the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania and called the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. It's winner takes all. WWE champion Brock Lesnar defending against the Universal champion Roman Reigns. The winner becomes the unified WWE Universal Championship. This feud started over 7 years ago. These men main evented WrestleMania 31 with Seth Rollins getting involved and cashing in Money in the Bank and taking the WWE Championship. These men main evented WrestleMania 34 when Roman should have won, but Brock beat his ass and bloodied him all over New Orleans. And then Brock Lesnar's return to confront a brand new Roman Reigns, a tribal chief Roman Reigns, who is Universal Champion, who has been the longest reigning Universal Champion and the longest world champion of the modern era for 550 plus days. And he versed him at Crown Jewel with Paul Heyman conflicted on which side he would go. Paul Heyman said he's been trying to protect Roman from Brock and was fired as Roman's special counsel. He then realigned with Brock Lesnar, helped him win the WWE Championship at day 1, but then screwed him for that title at the Royal Rumble, the same Royal Rumble night that Brock Lesnar went on and won the men's Royal Rumble match to earn this opportunity here. But then he said, screw that, I'm going to Elimination Chamber. I'm going to beat everybody and win the WWE title to set up winner takes all. Who walks out with both titles, Kenny?
Elvis Presley makes a decent point. Roman has never beaten Brock at WrestleMania. The common sense factor of it tells you, well, you're gonna put the titles on the guy who's going to show up and work every Friday night, Monday night, whatever the night may be. Brock has been there several weeks in a row. Wearing his little cowboy hat, ripping doors off trucks and stuff. I don't think he's going to do that every week for the next several weeks after WrestleMania. I think he's going to cash his WrestleMania check, probably take it a little bit easy. He's done with MMA, right? Is he doing any more MMA?
No.
Nope. Has he announced he's done with MMA?
No.
No, he hasn't announced that either. Okay. Yeah, I think Roman's your big horse right now. He's the one you're leading to the Kentucky Derby, so I would have Roman win. What you got?
Seems like the popular consensus, and I'm gonna agree. It's time for Roman Reigns to finally, should have done this 3-4 years ago. He
Mhm.
finally beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He is the Rock at WrestleMania 19, and Brock Lesnar is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't have him lose again. So I
Yeah.
say Roman Reigns is your unified WWE
We
Universal
actually agreed
Champion.
like 3 or 4 times, man. What do you think about that?
And that's it. That's all the
Well,
matches for
all right.
WrestleMania 38,
Well,
Kenny.
very, very good, because I don't wanna harp on this a whole lot. That's why I didn't mention anything about it through the entire show. I wanted to get through this. But, I got a little bit of an announcement I need to make, and, my trollers are gonna be so hurt because this is one of the few areas that they can get to me at. And thank you, Sid. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna thrill some of you, maybe anger a couple of others, but this will be my last show on Sportskeeda. We've pretty much known this for maybe a month or so now, but I wanted my good friend Raiju to get back from vacation before we made everything official. We talked about a few things, and just overall, I think it's best that I move on from Sportskeeda. Plus, I do a lot of fundraising, a lot of scamming on my own show, so I got to get over and keep running those Filipino scams that I'm so famous for the past several years. So we're going to focus more on that, and I want to thank everybody that gave me an opportunity to do these shows here at Sportskeeda. I really had a good time. Enjoyed working with everybody I worked with. Even Dr. Featherstone did a show with him where me and Rico, I think we got like 50,000 views in 5 days. I don't get that many on the bowling alley. But if you enjoy what I do, if you enjoy the controversy, we talk about a lot of things that a lot of podcasts won't talk about, probably due to the limited views. But come on over to the Bowling Alley. Just search us on YouTube, The Bowling Alley. Check us out. I normally do live shows on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and then I pick a weekend night to kind of do a bonus show. So I'd love for y'all to come over and enjoy what we do over there. We always have a lot of fun. Unless you're a troller, they don't like it too much. But we do get paid $25 for the first 4 trollers by our sponsor, Main Event. So they're paying me $100 a night, whether they want to or not. So we appreciate that as well. So thanks to everybody at Sportskeeda for having me be a part of this network. I really had a good time. Enjoyed everybody I worked with, from Dutch Mantel to even LU Cheapo. I had a great time with everybody, and Sid's my buddy. Sid is welcome on my show anytime. As a matter of fact, anybody at Sportskeeda that would like to come and be on my show, give me a couple of days' notice. You people are always welcome on my show. Happy to have you anytime. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenny. It's been an honor working with you, learning a lot from you, always having a good time, having a good laugh with these pay-per-view
And I
previews.
do hope you and my sweet love, Chrissy Love, come on over and hang
Oh,
out with us every now and then over
and,
at the alley.
and you
We'd
know
love
we got to get you back on True Hill Heat
Absolutely.
to,
Absolutely.
to
Anytime.
raise that curse count that you set the record for last time. But
Did I set the record?
you set the record. But
Well, you
that
let me
is
know what that number is. We'll break it the next time.
that is all for our WrestleMania 38 preview and predictions. You can jump over to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel right now because I'm
I'm
doing
going right now. Where's that?
another preview and predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver that's going to start right when I jump over there. So check that out right now. But this has been the Sportskeeda Wrestling WrestleMania 38 preview and predictions for Kenny Bolin. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, and we are signing off until next time. Enjoy the show of shows on Saturday and Sunday.